Real people, real layoffs. Today we'll be discussing a gentleman who was a former employee from the IRS who voted for Donald Trump and he was let go. Let's get into the clip.
What happened today?
I went in at my normal time. When I arrived there, everybody was in a very downtrodden mood. Um, and when I went to my computer, everybody was having some technical issues. Like none of our computers were really loading up either the programs that we needed to operate or like Teams. My story is the Teams. That's kind of how I figured out that we were getting fired today. Was when I went in, I logged into Teams, and I sent you the photo of what I saw when I went to log in, and that's when I left my cubicle and I went around to everybody else I work with. I'm like, hey, what's your teams look like? Some were having trouble, some were able to log in. It was very, very chaotic. There was no organization to it at all. And basically, we just sat around for the rest of the day. Talk about government efficiency. We literally.
All right, let's pause it there. So we have a gentleman here, former employee from the IRS, who was let go from his position. He did vote for Donald Trump, and ultimately Donald Trump signed an executive order that ultimately cost him his job. My thing is this: you know you're going to let these people go. Why have them come into the office? You know you've already cut access to certain programs that they need to, operate for their regular routine. Why not, like I said, we've seen other cases, send an email, phone call, something to let these people know, like, hey, you're no longer employed. Why have them come into the office, sit there all day, and you know that they're terminated? I mean, come on, at least have some type of decency.
Literally sat there and did nothing all day long while we waited for our fate. So again, we got our email saying that we were fired after sitting around all day knowing we were fired. Um, and then we turned in our equipment about.
See, this is one thing that people are very upset with when it comes to this, the government, the lack of efficiency. Again, why bring these people in and then send them an email while they're at work at the end of the day telling them they're terminated?
An hour or so later, and then we were escorted out of the building.
What do you make of what happened to you and your colleagues today? We hear about 400 employees, including yourself, were laid off.
It's unfair. I was unemployed, so I was laid off. I was laid off before this job, and it took me 8 months to apply and go through all the background checks and everything I had to do to get this job. And then 4 months later, now I'm in the same boat I was in before. I don't know how to feel. I'm kind of numb right now. I went out to lunch with one of my buddies after immediately it happened, and um, you know, what can you do at this point? Aside from reach out to the news organizations, reach out to our senators, reach out to our representatives. It was an illegal firing. Um, my performance was good. I was doing everything I was supposed to be.
Again, I mentioned this in my other video dealing with the other gentleman who was let go. They're putting this performance language or jargon in these emails to make it so you cannot collect unemployment. That's why they're putting this performance, saying that you're not up to standards. You didn't meet certain qualifications as far as your performance goes because they're going to try to fight you tooth and nail on the unemployment. Again, this is why I was a strong proponent of a buyout. Again, like I said, we're going to be fired anyway, so why not at least take a chance, because people believe that, the buyout may not pay out, may not happen. I believe it will get paid out, but we will see shortly. Um, now you're screwed. I mean, essentially, like I said, no buyout. Hopefully you can collect unemployment. Is a lot of these people are going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Be doing. I was even one of those government employees that went every day of the week. I had to report every Monday through Friday.
Hold on. I know he doesn't want credit for showing up to work Monday through Friday in the office. I mean, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans do that every day, brother. That's normal.
7 to 3:30. That was my tour duty, and that's what I served. And here I am.
Did they give you any inkling as to is there a package that you're aware about that exists right now? Or
Well, no, not for us. I mean, I did not take that deferred resignation, which now looking back on it, it's kind of a regret, but who knows?
He regrets now not taking a buyout, also called a deferred resignation, because essentially it's not really a buyout technically, from my understanding. Basically, you would still be kept on the books till about September, but basically, they essentially be paying you to stay home. Again, I said this time and time again in multiple videos. Why not take the buyout? Because they were going to let you go anyway. The buyout was them asking you nicely to get down, get out the way. This is just the first wave. But a lot of people didn't realize it. A lot of people were getting advice from uninformed people who do not know what they're talking about.
If that's even going to be honored in the end anyway, too. So I just feel pretty lost. I don't know where I'm going to go forward from here. I know the job market's not great right now, and what occurred today across the country is not going to help the job market.
what do you make of the Trump administration's actions?
I thought that he was. I did support him. I was a Trump supporter. When he talks about government waste and all that, yes, I'm behind it. I believe there is a lot of stuff in the government that needs fixing, and that's part of the reason why I actually wanted to work for the government. Actually, to help change the things that are wrong in the world. And I thought that someone with like his business acumen would have come in with a fine-tooth comb and actually found it, instead of coming in with a wrecking ball and destroying people's lives for no reason.
He was all for cutting government waste. He was all for trimming the fat, as they say. Along as he wasn't a part of that fat getting trimmed. This is a classic example of FAFO. He effed around and found out, and now he is headed for the unemployment line.
Were you given a reason for the termination?
That my performance no longer fits the mission of the IRS.
Can you say whether or not you're?
Again, I'm telling you, this was a calculated attack. If you watch my previous video, the other gentleman mentioned something that had this jargon about performance. Again, that is in there, so you will not be able to collect unemployment. They're going to make it very, very, very tough for people to collect unemployment. So, now you'll be fighting unemployment. Most people have no money coming in. This is going to have a huge effect on the economy. People don't understand. A lot of these people that are these federal employees that were recently laid off, a lot of them are going to be forced to do 1099 work. They're going to be driving Uber. They're going to be driving Lyft. They're going to be doing DoorDash. They're going to be doing Instacart. They're going to be doing Spark. They're going to be doing a lot of these delivery apps. Why? Because um, it's quick. I mean, you download the app, you sign up. I mean, a lot of them probably already have cars. You're already paying car insurance. So this is going to definitely have effect on the gig economy. People who are already in a gig economy working, now you're going to see an influx of people who are going to be coming into this gig space, and really they're not going to have a good understanding of how these gig apps work. So they're going to take any type of orders and understand these gig app algorithms are going to recognize that, and they're going to actually going to actually they're going to lowball um, when it comes to these orders because they know people are destitute and need money. So, like I said, this is going to have a major effect. Not to mention all the street vendors, people who have food carts and food trucks. This is going to have a major effect. And again, like I said, this is just wave one. Again, we're just a little over a month in, and I really honestly think the party hasn't even got started yet. This is pregame.
Your manager, your whoever, your superiors, they're was it very just about face, or did it seem like this
Oh
was
no, our management was scrambling to help us today. Management and union. I can't talk good about them because of
That's another thing. Stop thinking that these managers and these union reps and all that nonsense are your friends. Understand, some of these people knew that this was coming down the pike. They're just playing along, playing the game, and they're just happy that they're still employed. So again, I hear a lot of people saying, "Hey, my supervisor or my rep told me not to take the buyout." Look at you now. Now you're asked out. Again, a lot of these people do not know what they're talking about. They're underestimating what's going on here. They don't understand the scale. They don't understand that this is very calculated, and they're bringing their emotions to the battlefield.
where I'm at. But I mean, they did everything they could to help us today, and even some of the higher up management were sympathetic and they understood where we were coming from. Um,
They were acting and seeing.
and I don't think they wanted us to go either. This was an executive action outside of his scope of power.
I'm not laughing. Like I said, this is not funny, but it's just he voted for Trump and he was gun ho on cutting government waste, cutting spending, and now he was a casualty of a man that he put in office. So talk about irony.
have you been able to think about what you're going to do next in terms of dealing with this situation?
Not yet. I'm still kind of digesting it. It was, I can't say it was a shock because I mean, we've been going through this mental torment for 2.5 weeks now. Um, so I can't say it like I was blindsided and I'm shocked. Um, but when the hammer finally dropped, it still hurt.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear what happened to you and your colleagues. Is there anything else that you would like people to know that you feel is important?
Um, Government employees do a service. I know we're not sometimes, I know the IRS isn't the favorite people on the planet. But we fund your government. We fund your roads. We fund everything. So, uh, we're not there for us, it was a job and we try to do it.
How much do you want to bet before these layoffs This gentleman, like I said again, I'm just guessing. This is just conjecture. Um, was pro Trump, was pro the government is bloated, um, trimming the fat. I guarantee he was using all these type of phraseology. But now that it's actually affected him and his family, now the government is so important. Employees are so important. Um, he took the role to make a change. Totally different tune when you're you're personally affected. And now I'm pretty sure he regrets his decision to vote for Trump. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you feel bad for this gentleman? Former IRS worker, laid off. He was a Trump supporter. Sounds like he has a lot of regret with his decision. Ultimately, with Trump signing that executive order, which caused him to be fired. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We're going to continue with this real people, real layoffs. Again, like I said, this is a major. We're literally a part of history right now. This is something 20, 30, 40 years from now, people will be looked back talking about. There'll be movies, there'll be studies. I mean, this will be talked about for some time. So I'm going to continue to keep you updated and informed. But let me know what you think in the comments below about this gentleman here. IRS, let go, Trump supporter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.